if you're like me, you don't mind fixing something once. But when you're going to fix it 3 or 4 times, there's a problem with the design. Coolant leak at the expansion bottle for a V-rod, early V-rods. That's a half-assed way of fixing it, but it worked for a while until I get another one. The only way to get this piece is to buy the whole bottle, which seems sort of stupid to me. So I thought after several of these broke, and I got tired of buying bottles just to get that piece, that there has to be a better way. So I tried different things with a brass and a little plastic or rubberized nipple for a wash or solvent thing. Nothing seemed to hold up well. Then I accidentally came across this piece here, which I got at Home Depot or Lowe's, which, as you can see, is a 1/4 inch outside diameter nipple, like that. And I thought, well, you can't really drill it into here because there's not enough space. So I came across this idea when I found out that the cap off of this fits on here very snugly. You got to snap it down to get it in there. Okay. Then what I did is I drilled a pilot hole in it, and then I slowly reamed it out with a reamer so that I could just barely fit this piece in here. And then what I found out is it's pretty secure. You can screw it all the way down in there. It's hard to do with one hand and show you guys the same thing. But basically what you end up with is, when I get to the last couple threads, I put some Testor's airplane glue on the threads to hold it in there permanently. And then when you get done, you end up with a piece that looks like this, which is a lot more stable than the piece that Harley furnishes you, and hopefully it's a permanent repair. Once you get that in there, this hole on the end of it actually fits the original siphon tube pretty good. Just remember, when you glue it in, make sure that you're gluing it in on the angle of the tank. Like 90 degrees goes this way, and then the tube actually goes backwards into the tank. So there's not too much pressure on this fitting right up in here. Like I said, what I did here was I used the Testor's airplane glue, and then what I did on this end of it, after I cleaned it all out, of course with rubbing alcohol, was I used yellow weather strip adhesive from 3M. Now, it's a big difference between the black and the yellow. The yellow actually dries and it's still flexible. The black never dries, it's always flexible and it won't hold in there as well. Now, in making this is the second one I'm making, basically for my own edification and just to show you. And this piece only cost $1.98 at Lowe's. But the cap off of any oil container would probably work. You just have to find the ones with the smaller end on them rather than the real big one. And that's a permanent, should be a permanent repair. It fits in there nicely. I already have one in my bike that I made with another oil cap. And I've run it a couple 100 miles and gone back and rechecked it, and everything seems to be working, and there's no leaks at all. And that'll save you a lot of trouble down the line.